Welcome back to Case Closed Anime Review, episode number 33. This one reviewing the fifth Case Closed film, Countdown to Heaven. That's literally in this film. Coming out in the year 2001. Yep. This film has like a series of murders happen in this film. And apparently it's like a serial killer also related to this particular building going to. It kind of looks like the big H building that I saw in the film Entrapment, which I've heard this is a real building, and at one point this was the world's largest building for about a few years, for I think about almost about 10 years, and then all of a sudden got taken by spot by some hotel in India now. Actually, it was Saudi Arabia. But yeah, so the story, now I gotta appreciate this film for the fact that Serena is actually part of the plot, that she's actually plays a small part in the plot, but she at least has seen the whole film, unlike the first three films where she just appears for like two scenes and that's it. I appreciate at least this particular film, they actually give her a lot more to do, along with the Detective Boys. They also have this thing where they have bring later in the film where everybody tries to count them to 30 seconds, and Amy's the best one who actually can do it. Though the reason why she did because she was sitting next to Conan. Yep, the boy she has a crush on. A boy who is a 17-year-old in the body of a child. Yep. Yeah, so they go camping. Of course, the movie starts with them go camping. And of course, they visit the tower. And just by sheer coincidence, Serena, Rachel, and Richard are all visiting the place. Okay, fine. And meet like various people, like meet a painter, meet like an old friend of Richard's, Madison Monroe, which apparently in the sub, she had different name. Like, really? Okay, Funimation apparently named her after the fourth and fifth presidents. Yeah, her name in the sub was basically Meo Tawala. Yep, that was pretty much her, name. Now, there's also Augustine Odell, who was named in the sub was Tawasu. Okay. Yeah, he was a corrupt politician. You only see him for one scene before he gets killed. Yeah, apparently when he saw him, he was drunk. And Conan described him as like, man, this guy smells like a liquor store. And just by sheer coincidence, next time we see him, he's killed. They reveal later on he's killed with something else. Of course, this film was noteworthy for being the first and only time you get a chance to hear Jin and Vaca's dub actors. Yep. Though in this film, Vaca is voiced by Christopher Sabat. Yes, Jin is voiced by... Now, originally, Kyle Herbert was Vaca's voice, and this movie is noteworthy. This is the last time we get a chance to hear their dub actors because, well, Funimation doesn't have they don't have the license to publish this one anymore. Nope. Jin's dub actor was, believe it or not, Troy Baker. Yes, Troy Baker. A guy noteworthy for being both doing Funimation and, well, Viz Media dubs. Yeah, I believe in Viz Media, I think he voiced Orikawa from Bleach. Yeah. Yeah, but the last time we get a chance to hear the voices because no other time after this, though this is also the second last time you get a chance to hear, well, if you watch the dub for Case Closed, this is the second last film that was dubbed because next film is the last one they released dubbed because Funimation just gave up because they're really stupid when it comes to this particular series. Yep. And well, after meet everybody, then when the guy gets killed, then of course everybody gets called in. The Junior Detective League, Professor Agasa, Serena, Rachel, and Richard all get called in by McGuire, who's there with Satos, Henry, Uwatsugi, and Chaba. Yep, they're all in this movie. Chaba doesn't do much of anything in this movie. He just basically is like shows up here and there, doesn't do much anything. Saitos, who's was in the previous few movies. Like the first films, he had a lot to do, but the last couple films, he's not been getting much to do. I mean, if you look at, let's see, third film, he only showed up exactly for like one scene, and that was it. He showed up for a brief cameo, and the last film he had very little to do. This film he had very little to do. McGuire shows up in this movie. Of course, he goes to the crime, succeeds the tower. And of course, later on, they're invited to a party. This, of course, is after they have another guy get killed. Now it's revealed the guy who actually killed the first person who got killed and the third person who got killed were killed by the same person, but not the second person. The second person killed by somebody else. I'll explain that in a minute. So, back to this nice party. Just a like count of 30-second thing, and Amy, George, and Mitch participate in it, and well, Richard Moore wins. Yep, he wins. Whew. What does he win? A Mustang. Yep, a convertible Mustang, which does play a part in the finale for this movie. And then all of a sudden people call to the stage, and then they open the curtain up, and the host has been murdered, hung. They explain who it is a little bit later. Yeah. So of course Richard, instead of hitting Coney, just picks and throws him and lands on his butt. It's of course he notices a pearl, and then he notices he looks at the liquor, and he gets this little snap. It's yeah, he figured out exactly who did it. And then something weird happens. What weird happens? The building starts. There's explosions. Yes, first time. This is the third time we have actual explosions in a movie. Yeah, last time we didn't have explosions. So let's have this building nearly get destroyed. I blow up electronics room. So pretty much once everybody's evacuated via the elevator, and then apparently Jim Baca behind this, and okay, they think they want to kill off Sherry, even though they obviously the computers. So what do? They blow up the observation bridges to this particular between two buildings, and of course mostly everybody has been now. Rachel and Conan, they're able to get out of the building no problem thanks to Rachel using a hose. A hose from the building, basically a fire hose. Ties herself with Conan, kicks the window, gets in no problem. The hose gets burned. I think they go down probably about 10 floors, maybe. That's what it looks like to me, possibly about 10 floors. And they get out, no problem at all. They probably take another elevator. And, they find out, though, that the junior detective league, who had stayed behind due to the fact they had to get off the elevator because the elevator had to stop because there was a lady with a baby. So they were kind enough to allow her to go on board, and they even call him a cute baby. Yeah, this is a adorable little baby. And they go off, and this woman is never seen again in the film. She's only seen twice. She's seen in the scene with the party and seen in the elevator, and that's last see of her. And then Conan basically decides to use his gadgets. Okay, the junior detective is trapped in the building, so he basically races. He takes the elevator straight up to the 60th floor of Building B. The building that's on fire is Building A. And he uses his skateboard to go right across. Get across, no problem. Despite the fact his skateboard falls down and smashes right in half. And of course, Rachel puts that. And of course, a guy's like, that's Conan's skateboard. Of course, it'll repair anyways. At least it's not abandoned. Like it was the first few films. Gadgets simply just abandoned basically on a whim. And they never basically retrieved. At least this film had a good reason why. The gadgets virtually was destroyed. Though it probably gets revealed later. Yeah, so they go to the 7th floor, they stop. Of course, Conan has to go get the actual murderer, who turns out to be the painter. Yep, he killed the painter. He killed the councilman because, and of course, the whole motive was over this building which blocked his view of painting Mount Fuji. That was his motive, because this building was in the way, so he took out the guy who approved it and the person who helped design it, who happened to be a friend of his. And how did he basically kill the other guy by stabbing him? As for Madison Monroe, hung her, basically, with the necklace of pearls. And that basically killed her. Though he was able to basically figured out, though, that, yeah, he was a murderer due to the fact he kept the real pearls in his cane. And then he would look like he was about to commit suicide thanks to some cyanide. Conan said would just use this tranquilizer, tick, tick, knocks him right out. Yep. Oh yeah, and also before he gets off, before all that, he goes on the elevator with Rachel. He said not to go down, go down with Rachel. And he goes down. Of course, he's with Serena. And then he notices in his telescopic glasses, he looks at Building B. Who does he see? He sees freaking Jin with a sniper rifle, and he's about to hit Serena. And then, so the duck, he says, Serena, your panties are showing. And she looks at like, what? And of course the elevator stops, and they get off there. And that was when the observation bridge basically collapsed. But that was so funny. But back to the whole thing with that. They knock out the guy, and then they get to the roof. Apparently, Jin and Vodka put way too many explosives. They apparently detected some switch that threw gasoline on this rooftop, which a helicopter pad. And nah, it was like blow it up anyway. So they decided to use the car, the new car that Richard Moore won. So they had them basically, well, they all get in the car. Of course, they had to carry the old man that Conan knocked out into the car. That was not much of a problem. They basically buckle him up, safety first, and they have Amy in the driver's seat. Conan basically take care of the pedals, though him sitting right next to her was quite adorable. And of course, Anita, of course, they call her Vi in the movie for some reason. I don't know why. It's bizarre. Her name is Anita, and for some reason, this film they call her V. For some reason, I have no idea why. It's bizarre. For the movies, they call her Vi Grathor, even though her name is Anita, which makes no sense. The fact they call her that. I mean, Anita sounds more simple than call her Vi. Why? Because her name in the dub is I, and the sub is I. So let's call her Vi Grathor, and that's not her name at all. I call her Anita because that's what I call her in the manga. Simple as that. And she counts down to 30 seconds. So I stay there, sacrifice ourselves, and of course George and Mitchell are like, nope, you're not doing that. So George gets out of the car, picks up Anita, throws her in the car, and then of course at 30 seconds they hit the accelerator, goes right through the freaking glass. Of course, Conan also contacted McGuire to open up the roof of the rooftop pool, take it off, and then they basically fly across like it's something like Fast and Furious. Yeah, I've seen Fast and Furious movie. They go over buildings. They actually went through like 3 buildings. Yep. I believe this was in Fast and Furious 7. I think it was 6. I think it was 6. I think it was. Yeah, 6 it is. And they go over there and land. Of course, Anita almost falls out of the car because Mitch catches her, and of course Conan is like, "Oh crap, that thing is gonna cut her." So he takes the helmet Amy's wearing, which is basically from the dirt bike. He kicks it with his power shoes, knocks at some of the thing. Of course, it misses Amy. It misses Anita completely, and then they land in the water perfectly fine. The painter gets arrested, and then they actually have this funny thing where they have Agasa teasing Conan like, are you going to do it? And Conan's like, what? Of course, they had the whole thing asked, like, how do you do it? Because he has Conan to be next to her. And Anita basically kind of figures out what Agasa's saying, and she says, are you going to kiss her? Conan's like, what? And that's when the movie ends. It is so hilarious. And I have to get to the credits, which rather they use live action footage for some reason. Usually, the past few movies they end on a freeze frame before they go to the post-credits scene. This one, the post-credits scene, is a hilarious scene. It's like, okay, Richard Moore is sad that his car is in this pool, but he got out anyways because he has a fancy sports car. He's like sad and he falls in the pool, and of course, everybody laughs at, which that is quite hilarious, the way he just falls in the pool like, ah! It's so funny. Yep, and yeah, this movie was an absolute awesome movie to watch. Though, here's the thing. It was released in 2001. Let me check. I don't think it was released the same month as the... no, it wasn't. It was actually released, believe it or not, like 5 months before the 9/11 attacks. So yeah, it's a good thing it releases in 2010 because, well, if they had releases in the US in 2001, it would have been very inappropriate at that point in time because, well, we already had buildings blow up. It's basically the World Trade Center. Though, as of currently, it's been 18 years since 9/11 attacks this year. And this one was released well before that, so it's never released in 2010. That's fine. It's close to about the 10-year anniversary. The 10-year anniversary of, well, 9/11 attacks. Which, I looked up basically the English release of this thing. which the English release date is January 19, 2010, which was 9 years ago. And that's fine. I have no problem with the fact they actually released that particular date because, well, here's the thing. They actually had licensed the dub started for Case Close back in 2009. I wasn't watching the dub at that point. I was doing something else. I don't know what I was doing at that point in time. I don't really remember. It's been 10 years. Yep. But this is a good movie nonetheless, so that's it for this particular review. I got 2 reviews coming. Now, I do have another Case Close episode coming today. Reviewing the newest episode of the anime. But next thing I'm going to do is a movie review. I finally got to the current era of James Bond films. Daniel Craig. You get my thoughts on the first James Bond film soon. What I'm going to do next, okay? See you there. Bye.